The S&P 500 is up 3% today. The day is saved. The tariff war is over. The market has bottomed. We are not going any lower. Thank you, Donald Trump. You have saved America from financial oblivion, and the market is going to vertical line forever into infinity, like it always has before. Wrong! You clowns really think the market has bottomed. You really think the day is saved. You really think that every time the market dips, it just stops dipping in vertical lines shortly thereafter, just like it's doing today, right? Nothing has changed at all since what we experienced in the past. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to break your little bubble here. I'm here to shatter your excitement. But none of the risks to the U.S. stock market and the global stock market and the world economy have gone away. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but I made a video about Trump massively escalating the tensions with China. We are basically declaring war on them. We slapped 34% tariffs on them. They slapped 34% tariffs on us. And then Trump said, if you don't drop your tariffs, we're going to slap an additional 50% tariff on you. And you know what date that's going to happen? April 9th. Now, I looked at my calendar and it's April 8th. It's April 8th. April 9th is tomorrow. That's one day away. And China said they're going to fight to the bitter end. They're going to go down with the ship. They're not going to back down from the bullying Amerifats. And so I suspect that what's going to happen tomorrow is Trump is going to raise 50% tariffs on China like he said he was going to. And then you know what's going to happen? China's going to respond again. Where are we going, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think this leads to? I think this could lead to a war with China. If China decides to make a move and it gets really bad, China gets desperate, what are they going to do? Well, they might try to invade Taiwan where all of our chips are made. And you want to talk about market crash? You want to talk about a market crash? Oh, baby. If we go to war with China, all your large tech companies, well, some of them at least that are exposed to China, like Apple, like NVIDIA, where all the freaking chips are made in Taiwan, what do you think is going to happen? Annihilation. Absolute, utter evisceration of the U.S. stock market and global stock markets. Chinese stocks could potentially go to zero because they're, they're shell companies. It would be utter destruction on a scale that you cannot possibly imagine, okay? And I think we're going there. We're getting closer to war with China, a real freaking war, not a trade war. This only leads in one direction. This is the confrontation of the superpowers that has been building and building and building and building. But the market went up today, so we're good. Everything's safe. And you got to wonder, is Trump really going to drop these tariffs? No. And I'm talking about every other country. Of course he's not. You know what his plan is? His plan is to offset the U.S. government's deficit by massively raising tariffs to fill the coffers of the U.S. Treasury, which is a tax raised on you, morons. If you live in the United States, you're paying the taxes. The price of the goods that are imported go up, and the difference goes to the government. Duh! So he wants to raise tariffs to collect more money for the government. Okay, whatever. And then he wants to offset that by cutting taxes. He wants to cut taxes bigly. So if he really wants to cut taxes, which I think he does, he's going to have to offset that with the tariffs, that we need the tariff income. If you want to freaking go back to a time when the U.S. didn't have income tax, which he talks about all the time, you got to have the tariffs in place. The tariffs are not coming down unless he backs down from the tax cuts, which I don't think he's going to do. And you know what the tax cuts are going to do? They're going to do nothing, okay? Our deficits are already massive. Do you think the risks of our government debt are dropping? You think the treasury yields are dropping? Yeah, they dropped briefly when the freaking market crashed over the last couple of days. And now the 10-year is back to what, 4.25%? So the government is not going to be able to refinance at lower rates like they are planning to. The yields didn't come down, okay? We're still running massive government deficits. And now we're going to put a crimp in the economy and massively explode the deficits. And we're going to offset that by what? Cutting taxes and exploding the deficit even more? And what do you think is going to happen if we have an economic catastrophe because of the tariffs, which I don't think are coming down? Guess what? guess freaking what? The government deficit is going to explode even more. And interest rates are going to go up even more. And if we go to war with China, even more. Oh my God, we are so cooked. We are so freaking cooked. It's over. It's done. Today is not your salvation. Tomorrow is not your salvation. It's going to be ugly. America has changed the global order. The past is gone. This is a new path for America and the rest of the world. And while I can't predict what's going to happen, I think America is losing its preeminence as the global superpower. I think America's stature on the world stage is massively declining. We've stabbed our allies in the back. We've spit in their face. We've disrespected them. We've treated them like absolute trash. We couldn't have done normal negotiations. No, we had to mock them, threaten to invade their freaking countries and annex them. Freaking brilliant. We're buddy-buddy with Russia now. Oh, Putin, oh! We're cooked. So if you think you're going all in, you're buying the dip. Oh, the market's rallying. Oh, strong man's an idiot. Oh. I'm telling you, the pain is yet to come. The pain. There are so many risks out there. Sky-high valuations, pending war with China, massive government deficits, interest rates staying high. The Fed isn't freaking cutting. They're waiting. You know why? You know why the Fed's not cutting? Because I think the tariffs are going to cause inflation. Cooked to the fifth dimension. So my advice, as always, is if you're buying the dip, you're a moron. You should not be buying the dip. Buying the dip implies timing the market. You're holding on to cash. I'm going to wait for the dip, and then I'm going to buy the dip, and I'm a vertical line. I'm going to be rich. No. Stay the course like freaking always. Dollar cost average. Don't freaking sell. Buy every 2 weeks. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the stock market tumbles again. Don't be surprised if we have a vertical line down. Don't be surprised if we get into a recession or a depression. And I hope you're ready for it. I hope you're ready. And by ready, you need to start hoarding freaking cash. Okay? If you have no emergency savings, you need them desperately. Because you know what happens in recessions and depressions? You get laid off. You know what these tariffs are going to do? It's going to create some jobs, sure. It's also going to kill some jobs. You might lose some income. How exposed are you to these tariffs? Probably pretty significantly. A lot of you are. You need to start hoarding cash if you do not have emergency savings. I'm hoarding cash. I haven't sold anything. I'm never going to sell VT unless I need it, like desperately. But you know what? I'm building my cash reserves to quit my job. But I also have the cash there in case I get freaking fired earlier because the economy collapses. Anything is possible. You need to get ready. If you don't have any cash, if your savings are in the stock market, you're a moron. The stock market is not a savings account. It is only a long-term investment vehicle. Because at your worst possible moment, you get fired, stocks are down massively, depression, recession, guess what? What are you going to have to sell to survive? You're going to have to sell your stocks at a massive loss. Get freaking ready. Things are not getting better. Oh, the vertical line today. Shut up. Be scared. Be very afraid. Like, subscribe, check out the pinned comment, book a tax consultation with me. Taxes are due April 15th, 2025. If you haven't paid your taxes yet, if you plan to file an extension, you still got to pay your taxes by April 15th. Book a consultation. We'll calculate an estimated payment for you, and then we'll file your taxes when you're actually ready. Talk to you later. Cheers.